if you're planning your front door containers this weekend, y'all, this is what you need to get. If you have shade, this is one of my favorite container mixes. I love Kimberly Queen Ferns. I love to mix them with these gorgeous hydrangeas. Y'all, this is the High Series hydrangea. And look at the gorgeous intense color. Tommy, come up close so they can see that. Y'all, they have so many gorgeous colors. And what's great about this one is this is a macrophylla hydrangea. Y'all, this is a very special hydrangea. It's the High Series. And if you're coming to look for it, let me show you what you want to look for. Hold on. This is what the label looks like. I know y'all asked me a lot about it. It is on sale right now for $29.88. Y'all, look at that gorgeous color. Y'all, it antiques. It's absolutely beautiful. But if you want to plant this weekend, what I would do in your containers is you want to plant in the shape of a triangle. Put your Kimberly Queen right here. Put your hydrangea right there and add some creeping Jenny. And y'all, you have a gorgeous container that's going to last you through the summer. Y'all, our hydrangea antique, absolutely gorgeous. And it petered out, I would say probably in July. And then you take this out and you put it in the ground and your Kimberly Queen Fern has taken over for the summer. Now, if you have full intense sun, guess what? You can also use her because Kimberly Queen can also go in the intense full sun if you plant her right now. So let me tell you, if you're making a sun container, what you want to do, take your Kimberly Queen Fern. Y'all, this is a dipladenia. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I know it as a mandevilla. Y'all, I love white and green by the front door in the full sun. It does so well. Plant this also in the shape of a triangle. Kimberly Queen Fern, your dipladenia, add that creeping Jenny, and y'all, you have a very easy mix that's going to go all summer long in the full intense sun. Now, I have to show you a few other of my favorite things that are here. This is something that's very new. They just came out with this, and I saw this. Tommy, come this way. The breeders released this. I was up there in Chicago about 2 years ago, and this is a tabletop hydrangea. Now, not every store has this right now, so next year, I'm certain they'll have more, but y'all, look at this. This is a tabletop hydrangea named Tabletensia that is bred specifically for centerpieces. So if you're having a wedding, graduation, Easter, so many great celebrations. Y'all, they're at a few Home Depots right now. Let me show you what the sticker looks like so y'all can see. Y'all, they are absolutely stunning. They're in pink and then they're also in blue. Stunning, gorgeous. They're worth every single penny. They're a macrophylla, so when you're done enjoying it as a centerpiece, you can pop it in the ground in the shade and it'll be absolutely gorgeous. Okay, the next thing I wanted to show y'all is some of my favorite containers. Let's see if they'll let us in. They're not. Well, that was the wrong time, wasn't it? Well, Tommy, let's see if we can peek over there if they can see it. So if y'all look, there's containers that are over there. Let me see if I can show you right there. They're around $40, y'all. They are the best containers. They are a great substitute for a real terracotta pot that costs a lot of money. It's only $40 and it's 21 inches. And y'all, that is the perfect size to plant a container. Now, y'all often ask me about how do we mulch our beds right now? Because a lot of us are starting to mulch our beds. So I like to use pine straw anytime I have trees or shrubs in my beds. But if I have annuals or perennials, I love to use soil conditioner. And let me show you what soil conditioner is. It's very different. I like to call it fine pine fines. There was a really fancy architect that I used to work with a client, and it was incredible. His name was Ben Page. Y'all, he was from Nashville, if any of y'all know him. But he taught us that a fine, elegant, annual, and perennial bed should always have soil conditioner in it. So let me show y'all what this looks like. It looks like this, y'all. This is what you want to look for. It's the orange bag. It's Timberline. It says soil conditioner. I can't tell y'all how many questions I always get about this.
Put it on the white so they can see it.
What now?
Lay it on the white.
Oh, okay. There we go. Tommy's telling me to lay it out. See how nice and fine that is? That is what you want to use in your annual and perennial beds. You want to use pine straw in any beds that have trees and shrubs. Now, this is for my friends in the South. Now, for a lot of my friends up north or out west, y'all have the cedar mulch. So just make sure you don't use the really big chunks of cedar mulch. And then let me show you some of our favorite soil that we love to use in our containers. Hold on. It is the Kellogg's brand. We use this in a lot of our clients. Tommy and I didn't look for this before we came. So here we go. Is it right here?
We're kind of on the fly right now.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's in the yellow bag. It's yellow and blue right now. But this is what we love to use in our containers. This potting mix right here, it's all natural, it's organic, and this is what we use in a lot of our clients' containers. Okay, Tommy, I know you're out there. Here they have questions.
Yes. What was the plant that you planted with the Kimberly Queen? And
let's show them again.
Okay.
Let's go over there and show them if they haven't put it up yet. Y'all, it's called Diplodemia. Also like a mandevilla.
Diplodemia is the one she knew was the other plant.
Oh, the...
Creeping Jenny.
Creeping Jenny. Well, we should show them the whole cart.
Okay.
Okay, y'all, this is Creeping Jenny, and this is a staple in so many of my clients' gardens. Y'all have heard me talk about this before. Creeping Jenny, I think it takes full intense sun. Now, this is in Georgia. We have a lot of clients that actually use this a lot, and we also have it in shade as well. But it creeps. Now, it can be a little bit invasive, so you want to keep her in a pot or keep her in beds that are kind of contained. Okay, creeping. Tommy, any other questions?
Nothing. Not right now. Everybody's answering them for you. So
oh, well, good. Okay, well, thank you so much.
your community's answering it
Okay,
for
now
you.
I also want to show y'all, since we're all getting ready for Easter, I just saw this as we were walking in. I think this is such a great thing to go on your tabletop. No, Tommy, you're supposed to go out there. No, there you go. There you go. So this is a table, something we're supposed to use on our tables. And you don't have to use on your tables, but it's a lavender topiary. You got to go that way. Y'all were... Okay, so it's a lavender topiary. Let me go get it real quick. Hold on one second. We have some children around. We don't want to get them on camera, so that's where we're kind of walking around them. Y'all, look at these lavender topiaries. I think they're absolutely great. This is another great high-end look to put on your tables for Easter. Such a great thing. And then last, y'all, I know ferns are such a hot thing right now. My favorite fern is a Kimberly Queen fern because it's upright. It can take the sun and the shade. I also love a Boston fern. Boston ferns are great for hanging baskets. Same with macho ferns. But my secret formula, if you want to keep them nice and green all season long, take a tablespoon of Epsom salt to a gallon of warm water. Make sure you dissolve it really, really well and use it about once every 3 to 4 weeks. You can do it 6 weeks too, but y'all, that is how you're going to green up your ferns.
When do you take the hydrangeas out of the pot and put them in the bed?
Y'all, our hydrangeas looked absolutely gorgeous in our containers all the way through the end of July. I mean, they were beautiful. They were, I mean, I wish I could show y'all, and I've got pictures of them. They antique this more gorgeous, like blue-green color and like green-purple color. They were absolutely magnificent. So they were great, but you would pop them in the ground. You can also keep them in that container and wait till it cools down and put them in the ground later in the fall if you want to.
We got to go back to hydrangeas. They want to see them all again and talk about them
Okay,
again.
let's go talk more about the hydrangeas. So remember, there's 2 different types of hydrangeas. So I'm at my Home Depot Garden Center right now. This is the only garden center that we have in our hometown in Thomaston, Georgia. And this is the High Series, HI Hydrangea Innovation. Y'all look at that color. I cannot tell you enough. This is the very beginning of what this is going to do. It is absolutely stunning. She is nice and compact. They are branched, absolutely beautiful. I tried her out last year, and you know that, y'all, I don't show y'all anything unless I've tried it first. Look at all of those blooms. Y'all, this is only $29.88 right now at most garden centers. This is, if you don't see it labeled like that, it's going to be any hydrangea that's in bloom right now. That is the High Series. It doesn't say High Series on there. I just know the growers, and they told me the details on it. The other hydrangea is the Tabletop hydrangea. This one is great. It's a macrophylla. Let me come down here and show this to you as well. Now, this is only at a few select stores. This is not in every store right now, okay? But this is a beautiful hydrangea, y'all, that stays nice and mounded. It only gets 8 to 10 inches tall and about 12 to 14 inches wide. So can you imagine this for a wedding? or for a graduation. I mean, y'all, there are just so many great things. Or we're going to buy some today for Easter.
We are?
Yes, because we're going to go home. Well, even though we are celebrating Easter, but we're not going to have our family over this year. Usually I host Easter every year, but this year we've got some different things going on. Okay, any other questions?
Yes, they want to know the difference between soil conditioner and the
And the pine bark.
And the pine bark. That we
Okay,
have.
so y'all, pine bark is. I mean, should we walk back there and show it to them? Okay, Tommy's saying, come on. You want to ask any questions while we're walking back there? And I'm explaining the difference between pine
Can
bark.
the soil conditioner be used for potting soil?
No. It cannot be used because it does not retain moisture. It does not retain moisture. So you want to use that potting soil. That's what you want to use in your containers. But what we'll often do is we have really, really big containers at our clients' home. We will actually use the soil conditioner in half of it, or bark in the bottom half, and then use the potting soil on top. So I should have grabbed some of that soil conditioner, but this is what the mini nuggets look like. Do you see how much bigger that is? Okay, y'all, I'm telling you, you're gonna have a more high-end look if you use the soil conditioner. Now, we do use this sometimes, but I love the look of soil conditioner because it looks so much better. Okay, so remember, if y'all are planting this weekend, which we want you to come out to your garden centers, we want you to buy those plants, but just watch out for your frost-free date, okay? Be sure to look up in the Farmer's Almanac. Ours is March 31st, but be sure to look that up before you plant. Now, you can buy all those plants for your containers, but if you're gonna get temps at 38 degrees and below, bring them inside, or bring them inside a garage that is 38 and above, because that's when a frost can occur. Okay, guys, we're going to be doing all kinds of fun garden things this season. We're super excited. It is finally time to start getting in our gardens and plant, and y'all come back and